Let's speak now to Dean Elmas. He is a news desk editor at Israel Hayom, a national newspaper and website. And he joins us from Rishon LeZion. Dean, it's a pleasure seeing you. Thank you for joining us here on TRT. Well, firstly, the Prime Minister had surely hoped for more impressive results, especially after what he considers was the government's stellar response to the pandemic. He said, after all, before the vote, quote, "We are champions in handling the coronavirus." But it still looks like it will be a coalition government this time around. What issues divide Israel?
The problem in Israel, in my opinion, that after 4 times of elections in just 2 years, people, I don't know if they don't trust the democracy, but they went out because the pandemic here is some kind of easy down. But I believe that the situation in Israel it's pretty tricky, and we will go even to a 5th round of elections in 2.5 years, because we passed 2 years now. If we look on the right side of the map, this is right that Prime Minister Netanyahu took the biggest mandate, the biggest amount of seats in the Knesset in the current election, just like in the past. But the major point is what happened to the Israeli politics in the last 2 years, from the question of what is your ideology. Now we think about, are you pro-Netanyahu or anti-Netanyahu? So it's 2 camps that divided Israel.
Dean, you started by saying that people there possibly don't trust democracy. Why?
Because if you go to 4 times to the ballots and cast your vote, and then you see that there is no budget, because there was no real working government in Israel in the last 2 years. So we've got no budget, and Israel passed the pandemic. I think that this is the only place in the world that passed the pandemic without any budget, because there was no real government that can pass it in the Knesset. And after 65% count of votes until a few minutes ago, we see that Likud took 31 seats. But the point is, if the pro-Netanyahu camp will take 60 or 61 seats out of the 120 in the Knesset or not. And if not, there is an option that Netanyahu will not be any longer prime minister in Israel, because all the legal situation that he is in.
Dean, how likely is it Likud may need to form a coalition with a party it considers too extreme, with the religious Zionism party perhaps? And how would that affect his government's policies?
First of all, we have Yamina. That Yamina will be probably the party that will be the one that will choose the next prime minister, because they can go with Netanyahu or with the left side, with the leader Yair Lapid of Yesh Atid party. But if we look on the right side, we see that we have the religious Zionists, that they are far right, even nationalist. We have the religious Yadut Torah and the religious Shas. And without any left side, because I don't see left side parties that will go with Netanyahu, it will be in something between 59 to 61. This is just 2 seats in the parliament, but this is the 2 seats that will decide. The problem in Israel also is the opposition. The opposition in Israel is very, very divided. We see that we have right side that they are anti-Netanyahu. We have the Arab parties that are so divided that this is one of the biggest problem, in my opinion, for the Israeli Arab people. We have also social democrat parties, but they can't work together, and this is the reason why the Israeli opposition are not that strong, obviously.
All right, Dean Elmas at Israel Hayom, thank you for that. We appreciate it.